Let us discuss some important multiple choice questions on important topics related to advances. 1. Lenders shall report credit information, including classification of an account as SMA to CRILC, on all borrowers having aggregate exposure of 5 crore rupees and above with them. CRILC stands for Option A. Central Repository of Information on Large Credits. Option B. Central Repository of Information on Large Credit Accounts. Option C. Centralized Repository of Information on Large Credits. Option D. Central Repository of Informatics on Large Credits. The correct answer is Option A. Central Repository of Information on Large Credits. 2. Which of the following statement with respect to reporting of advances to CRILC, Central Repository of Information on Large Credits, by the banks is not correct? Option A. Banks need to report position of the advances of 5 crore rupees and above to CRILC. Option B. The CRILC reporting need to be done on fortnightly basis. Option C. Lenders shall report to CRILC all borrower entities in default, with aggregate exposure of 5 crore rupees and above, on a weekly basis. Option D. The CRILC reporting on all accounts with an exposure of 5 crore rupees and above need to be done on monthly basis, other than accounts in default. The correct answer is Option B. The CRILC reporting need to be done on fortnightly basis. 3. Which of the following is not a correct combination of subcategory of stressed assets, number of days overdue, for cash credit account? Option A. SMA 0 to 1 day to 30 days. Option B. SMA 1 to 31 days to 60 days. Option C. SMA 2 to 61 days to 90 days. Option D. Substandard 91st day onwards. The correct answer is Option A. SMA 0 to 1 day to 30 days. 4. Red flagging of accounts is a measure towards? Option A. NPA management. Option B. Credit management. Option C. Operational risk management with respect to loan accounts. Option D. Fraud risk control. The correct answer is Option D. Fraud risk control. 5. As per RBI guidelines, if the account is red flagged by considering EWS for fraudulent activity, a bank can monitor the account as per its own discretion, guidelines up to a limit of Option A. 5 crore rupees. Option B. 100 crore rupees. Option C. 50 crore rupees. Option D. 10 crore rupees. The correct answer is Option C. 50 crore rupees. 6. What is the provision coverage ratio (PCR) stipulated by RBI for scheduled commercial banks? Option A. 60%. Option B. 70%. Option C. 80%. Option D. 75%. The correct answer is Option B. As 70%. 7. In case of consortium banking arrangement, if a member bank notices suspected fraudulent early warning signals (EWS), the initial decision to classify account as RFA or fraud will be at its own level. It should report the details in CRILC and alert other banks. In such cases, the consortium meeting should be held? Option A. Within 30 days of such reporting. Option B. Within 7 days of such reporting. Option C. Within 15 days of such reporting. Option D. Consortium meeting is not required. The correct answer is Option C. Within 15 days of such reporting. 8. In case of red flagged account, in case of consortium accounts, if minimum of percentage of lenders decide to classify the account as red flagged, then all banks should accept it and immediately forensic audit to be ordered. Option A. 75%. Option B. 66%. Option C. 51%. Option D. 60%. The correct answer is option D, 60%. 9. Is an examination and evaluation of a firm's or individual's financial information for use as evidence in the court of law. Option A. Tax audit. Option B. Forensic audit. Option C. Revenue audit. Option D. Legal audit. The correct answer is option B. Forensic audit. 10. In case of forensic audit, the auditors should audit the financial statements of the subject firm or company for a minimum period of Option A. 3 years. Option B. No minimum or maximum limit. Option C. 5 years and the maximum is depending on requirement. Option D. 2 years and the maximum is depending on requirement. The correct answer is option B. No minimum or maximum limit. 11. In case of consortium or multiple banking arrangements, if the member banks orders for a forensic audit of customer account, as per RBI guidelines, the same need to be completed within a maximum period of Option A. 30 days. Option B. 60 days. Option C. 90 days. Option D. 180 days. The correct answer is option C. 90 days. 12. In respect of borrowers having aggregate fund-based working capital limit of Rs, from banking system, a minimum level of and above from the percent shall disbursed by the banks as loan component, working capital demand loan. Option A. 150 crore and 50%. Option B. 150 crore and 40%. Option C. 50 crore and 40%. Option D. 5 crore and 40%. The correct answer is option B. 150 crore and 40%. 13. The undrawn portion of cash credit overdraft limits sanctioned to the large borrowers with aggregate working capital exposure of 150 crore rupees and more, irrespective of whether unconditionally cancelable or not, shall attract a credit conversion factor of Option A. 20%. Option B. 25%. Option C. 30%. Option D. 50%. The correct answer is option A. 20%. 14. As per RBI's guidelines, restructuring of advance may involve modification of terms of the advances, securities. The process of restructuring includes Option A. Alteration of payment period, payable amount, the amount of installments, rate of interest. Option B. Rollover of credit facilities. Option C. Sanction of additional credit facility, release of additional funds for an account in default to aid curing of default, enhancement of existing credit limits. Option D. Compromise settlements where time for payment of settlement amount exceeds 3 months. A. All the above. The correct answer is A. All the above. 15. Which of the following category of advance is eligible for restructuring as per RBI guidelines? Option A. NPA accounts only. Option B. NPA accounts in substandard category only. Option C. Standard accounts only. Option D. Both NPA and standard accounts. The correct answer is option D. Both NPA and standard accounts. 16. As per RBI guidelines, in case of MSME accounts with aggregate exposure less than 25 crore rupees, the account can be upgraded only if it demonstrates satisfactory performance during the specified period. Specified period refers to Option A. 1 year from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. Option B. 2 years from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. Option C. 6 months from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. Option D. 3 years from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. The correct answer is option A. 1 year from the commencement of the first payment of interest or principal, whichever is later. 17. A cash credit account is not considered as out of order in which of the following cases? Option A. If the outstanding balance remains continuously in excess of the sanctioned limit drawing power for 90 days. Option B. If the account is not renewed for the period of 90 days from the renewal due date. Option C. Outstanding balance in the principal operating account is less than the sanctioned limit drawing power, but there are no credits continuously for 90 days. Option D. The account has outstanding balance which is less than sanctioned limit. There are credits in the account but the credits are not sufficient to cover the interest debited during the same period. The correct answer is option B. If the account is not renewed for the period of 90 days from the renewal due date. 18. A loan granted for short duration crops will be treated as NPA if the installment of principal or interest thereon remains overdue for a period of. Option A. 1 crop season. Option B. 2 crop season. Option C. 270 days. Option D. 90 days. The correct answer is option B. 2 crop season. 19. A loan account has an outstanding exposure of 5 crore rupees and it is considered as loss asset. The value of security attached to the account is 50 lakh rupees. What is the amount of provisioning the bank needs to make? Option A. 4 crore rupees. Option B. 5 crore rupees. Option C. 1.25 crore rupees. Option D. 2.25 crore rupees. The correct answer is option B. 5 crore rupees. 20. A loan account has an outstanding exposure of 5 crore rupees and it is considered as doubtful asset. The realizable value of security attached to the account is 4 crore rupees. The account is in doubtful status from last 2 years. What is the amount of provisioning the bank needs to make? Option A. 4 crore rupees. Option B. 2.60 crore rupees. Option C. 1 crore rupees. Option D. 2 crore rupees. The correct answer is option B. 2.60 crore rupees.